bullying, small countries like Libya and Iraq. And there's a difference between that and having an international alliance of, Western values, whatever you want to call it, pro-freedom, countries that contain the aggression. That's the thing, too. It's like it's like people think there's there's only mutually assured destruction. There's also containment. To contain these two aggressive powers. And now that doesn't mean what the U.S. did was okay with Iraq and everything, and that should be, that was rightly condemned. But the countries that condemned it, China and Russia, are doing the exact same thing. Except for them, it's justified because Ukraine and Taiwan are on their borders. So I don't know, it's like these people, a lot of these people, they hate the United States so much that they're going to give a free pass to, Russia and China to do whatever they want. And I do not think it's a good thing for freedom, right? In this country or any other country, for there to be two belligerent, neo-communist, basically neo-fascists, really, that's what they are. They like in China, they say it's communist, but really it's basically fascism, to control the world island, control 70% of the land mass, 70% of the resources, 70% of the population of the world. That's unsustainable, right? Otherwise, they're going to get a new Cold War. So, I am a firm believer in peace through strength, and war is illegal, right? It's illegal, because of the whole United Nations thing, which is its whole other thing, but war is illegal, right? Wars of aggression are illegal. It was illegal when the U.S. did it in Iraq. It was illegal when the Russians are invading Ukraine, and it's going to be illegal when China invades Taiwan. So, and so, the thing is, if a British and French stood up to Hitler before, Anschluss, where they absorb Austria, that was allegedly that was a voluntary thing. If they stood up to Hitler when he was bullying the Czechoslovakia, as it was called, or if they stood up to Mussolini when he was invading the Ethiopian Empire, or if they stood up to the Japanese, which they did by embargoes and stuff. If they stood up to the Japanese when they had the rape of Nanking and just this awful, disgusting loss of life, maybe it could have prevented World War II. Right? Maybe it could have prevented a lot. Now we lost all that freedom because of a world war and everything. And if there is another world war, we're going to lose a lot of freedom. But yeah, as I said, there's a difference between warmongering and believing in peace through strength. Putin's now enslaving his population to do the same thing, except at least with Zelensky, defensive conscription is more, I'd say it's more justified than offensive conscription. Because that's enslaving your own population to invade this other country that they have, no desire to be in. So that was disgusting, and so here we go. And now this is do I really? Yeah, and so now this is just how mentally, and now it's not as bad in the liberty sphere. This is how bad it is, and it's probably going to get this way for, maybe it'll get this way for some of the spurgs, but this is what the alt-righters, the way they talk about Putin. So do you really want to be associated with people, with, these kinds of people, right? All these Putin shills, of Putin aboos.
If I were to fight for anybody, it would be...
Oh, this is America First streamer Dalton Clodfelter, by the way. Remember that. His brand is America First. Well, no, his brand is ripping off Red Bar, but...
If I were to fight for anybody, it would be Vladimir Putin, who is the only open nationalist.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Oops. Lol. They say he's the only open nationalist, and yet he throws Russian nationalists in jail.
Nationalist standing against the globalist regime.
If I could describe Putin, he's like a neo-Soviet, I'd say.
The only one in the world, really, right now. Of course, the people that we commonly think of as evil, Saudi Arabia, Iran, China, right? These people, they're supporting Vladimir Putin. Now, who's really evil? What country represents Sodom and Gomorrah? Really?
Well, and that's the thing. That's true about the United States. Yeah, the U.S. The Fed, right? The deep state, the federal government, what do you want to call it, is the great Satan. I do agree with the Taliban, but that doesn't mean it's oh, I'm against a great Satan, therefore I'm going to ally with Moloch, or I'm going to ally with Abaddon. It's it's like just being against, some people could be so against something that they end up supporting something that's just as bad, if not worse.
The country that glorifies gay sex, gambling, porn addiction, addiction to drugs and alcohol.
Same thing in Russia, except the government doesn't promote it, but they're all into it. At least in Moscow, we're all into that stuff.
Probably that country. A country that is completely lost on God. I mean, who's really evil in America? Or who is really evil in this conflict? I would say that it is the United States. I would say that the United States is the great Satan. It is the global homo, and they are pushing a global homo agenda.
Wow, what a real American patriot Stu Peters is for having Dalton on.
Yeah, well, and it's ironic because, you know, this Dalton, he's sworn allegiance to, was it, kill, rape, and die for Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
It's like Putin would have thrown Fuentes in jail for that cookie joke he made about the Holocaust, you know?
That's true. That's true, yeah. Yeah, well, and also he's a Freemason too, so he makes his own, you know, he makes his own oath, and like allegedly, he claims to be a 33rd degree Mason. He's grandfathered in, and like my understanding is, if you want to advance in Masonry, at least according to Bill Cooper, you have to commit apostasy, and yeah, that's how you advance. You know, that's how you advance through it. Maybe because he's like been brainwashed by Nick, maybe he didn't do that. But I mean, as if I don't know. I mean, as if the Masons are, and I mean, you know, they were. I mean, yeah, they were an influence a while ago, but I think today they've moved on to new control groups. All right, so here we go now. So here we go. I've been hearing all this rumors that Kanye West has apologized and all this crap. He apologized on Piers Morgan. So let's see here. I don't believe it for a second.
Now regret saying DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not.
You should be.
Absolutely not.
Okay, Kanye does look high as fuck in this interview. I'm just going to say.
Yeah, but yeah, you should be.
Absolutely not.
When you insult the Jewish people and say you're going DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people, that is as racist.
Kanye's laughing his ass off. I'm not going to call him Ye. I think that's so stupid. Like anyone who does that, you know. And I mean, he calls himself Ye, and I'm pretty sure it's him comparing himself to God, because in these like Black Hebrew Israelite circles they call God Yah, short for Yahweh or something.
Racist is anything you say you've been through and any pain that you've experienced. It's the same thing. Racism is racism. And you know that, I think, don't you?
Shakes his head.
Yeah, obviously. That's why I said it.
So you said it knowing it's racist?
Yes. I fought fire with fire.
Okay.
I'm not here to get hosed down.
At least
I'm not here. Oh, wow. So did he apologize? Now, that doesn't sound like an apology to me, actually. That sounds...
Black man in a white man town. He's got trouble.
Still Kanye. Still our Kanye.
Get in his way, he's gonna cut you down. Taking over. He can ride, he can shoot. Don't take nothing from nobody. Oh, he's black, bad, scared of nothing. Yeah, he's so bad. Boss, he's a boss.
All right, there you go. All right. So, anyway, so yeah, so there you go. I was so concerned when I saw that he allegedly apologized. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to find another excuse to play this music on the show some other time. But no, it's still.
No, it was a BS apology. He's like, basically it was like a, I'm sorry that hurt your feelings apology.
Oh, I see.
It was, yeah.
Okay, dude.
If anything, he doubled down with Piers Morgan. It was based.
Well, and like from what I've seen, the rest of that interview, it's like I think Chris Cuomo or someone was like, Kanye, do you need help? And he's like trying to gaslight him. He's like, are you on medication or something? I think like Chris Cuomo like reviewed he's on antidepressants. Like, yeah, if I got kicked off of CNN because I forget if it was because of him or his brother or what. If I got kicked off of CNN, I'd be on antidepressants too. All right. So anyway, okay, here we go. This is another clip.
For the Jewish people, what I'm doing is I'm Me Tooing the Jewish culture. I'm saying y'all gotta stand up and admit to what y'all been doing. And y'all just got away with it for so long that y'all don't even realize what y'all doing. And it's like, Y'all can't fuck with me either because y'all behind that gated fence. Y'all soft. Y'all hands got soft. You ain't out here getting beat up every day like me. You ain't out here getting called crazy
Just a bunch of weed smoke goes across the camera.
every day like me. You ain't out here getting your
Yeah, you see the host is getting absolutely trashed because he's like, oh, I'm never going to hear the end of this. And I think he had to get rid of, I think he deleted the archive of this interview. But you just see him get more and more smashed. Like,
family snatched like me. You ain't out here half your culture getting aborted like me. You ain't out here getting outraged with false narratives like BLM like me. So for all the Jewish media, y'all want to sit down and have a conversation with me? Then let's have a conversation. But you ain't gonna send Harley Pasternak, Puff Daddy, Meek Mills, Kim Kardashian, none of the usual suspects and get me to stop talking. You're going to have to take my life. I don't care if you Black Mirror me. I don't care if you do some of the alternative, what the thing was, show me talking, saying somebody didn't say. I don't care if you have me fucking a goat on camera. I don't care what you do. You're going to have, And by the way, and if you take my life, there's gonna be some college kid, some young Ye, some young Pac that's gonna even go harder. It's gonna, y'all thought George Floyd was gonna send it up. If you took my life right now, you're gonna see something you never saw. So we might as well have a conversation because I love you.
Have the conversation.
I love the media platform.
And we love Jewish people.
And
we love Jewish people. We love Jewish people.
But I am very mad. I have a problem. The conversation ain't over. It ain't okay, yay, clarify. It ain't nothing to be clarified until we have a conversation. You got Jamie Lee Curtis on TV talking about, I hope they take his children away from him.
Sorry, for context, whenever he's saying, I love the Jewish people, and you see him, like, you know, waving his hands and looking away. He, this person, Noel or whatever, who was conducting this interview, I guess had 4 Jewish people sitting around here, and so whenever Ye would be talking, they would be giving signals of, oh, he's crossing the line, you gotta intervene, blah, blah.
oh, wow, I didn't notice that. Damn.
This conversation was being active.
And it still got deleted.
Black man in a white man town, he's got trouble. Get in his way, he's gonna cut you down, taking over. He can ride, he can shoot, don't take nothing from nobody. Oh, he's black, bad, scared of nothing.
Yeah, I bet everyone's like sick of this song by now. All right, anyway, so before I get before I get accused of being, you know, a white slur thing, this has got to be the dumbest take I've heard about Kanye. This is Roger Stone. Looked like he's dying of AIDS. I'm just saying what he looks like. Probably caught it from I'm not saying he did, but if he did, he probably caught it from Richard Nixon. Anyways. So, no, it's probably not. Now, probably, I mean, the thing is, like, he has, like, a tattoo of Nixon on his back, but if Nixon knew about, like, you know, the Nixon we know, the hidden tape Nixon, he'd probably want nothing to do with Roger Stone, right? Nixon said, he, without getting too he said that, like, San Francisco is, like, the faggiest, you know, damn place he's ever been at, and he won't shake someone's hand from there unless he's wearing a rubber glove. So, yeah, anyway, and Roger Stone is a libertine, as he'd call himself, and then he claims he's been saved. I don't really buy it. I think it's just a new affinity grift. So, anyways, this is the dumbest take. You know, Roger Stone's supposed to be some sort of political genius. Listen to this stupid crap.
As far as President Donald Trump, I'm virtually certain he is going to run again.
Oh, yeah, and we'll see why Roger Stone is sucking up to Trump in a moment, too.
I still think it is possible that he could announce his candidacy before this November's election, just weeks from now. It's just a guess on my part. I've heard some intriguing ideas today about a Donald Trump, Kanye West ticket. I think maybe Kanye should run for president.
No. We have to turn
Kushner away.
No, not Bay. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. This is so stupid, too. And, you know, even Jones is like, yeah, maybe, you know, Kanye 2028 or something stupid.
Himself in that arena so he can be selected for vice president.
So stupid, you know.
Well, you know, Roger just wants Kanye to come up there and, you know, fuck his wife, essentially.
Whoops. Yeah. That's a good. Damn, I didn't think of that. Damn, it's just Shelley knowing more of the lore of the show than I do. Hold on, where is? Okay, yeah. So here we go. This is Stone talking about Donald Trump. Now we're going through the grifters and gatekeepers segment of his show. It's starting to wind down here. Footage from January 20th, 2021. Now I need to find the rest of his footage. So this is Roger Stone talking about his good buddy Donald Trump.
I'm done with this president. I'm going to go public supporting impeachment. I have no choice. He has to go. He has to go. Run again. You'll get your fucking brains beat in.
Yeah, what I miss this Roger Stone, honestly. Like, you know, probably because is his erratic behavior because he didn't get his pardon. No, he did get his pardon. So, and then now suddenly he's like loving Trump. I remember Jones, he's like, he went on InfoWars and Jones is going to rehabilitate him, and they didn't play any of the clips that he's being accused of. They just said, you know, they just blubbered for, you know, half an hour, and his retarded audience bought it all up. And so here you go. This is him talking about Kushner. So yeah, I mean, where was this Roger Stone for like the past 5 years?
Jared Kushner has an IQ of 70. He's coming to Miami. We will eject him from Miami very quickly. He'll be leaving.
If only, you fucking pussy. You didn't do that.
Very quickly.
And some people suspect that Roger Stone is high on cocaine in this clip because you can see his hands are trembling.
Very quickly. He has 100 security guards. I'll have 5,000 security guards. You want to fight?
Okay, yeah, it's more likely he's on coke actually. Yeah, I'm gonna have. This is like the closest he could ever get to like this like Ethan Ralph behavior. I'll have 5,000 security guards.
Let's fight. Fuck you and your abortionist bitch daughter.
Based. Yeah, where was this Roger Stone? I miss this Roger Stone. All right, so here we go. This is interesting. Trump spent 91 cents to raise each dollar as troubles mounted. This is from Yahoo News. No, excuse me, Bloomberg. So Trump raised $24 million in the third quarter, a 41% increase over previous quarter, but he spent $22 million to do it. So, doesn't that mean he raised $2 million? So fucking stupid. It's finance on Yahoo, and it's like, so no, he didn't raise $24 million. Well, I mean, I guess he, in terms of, what's it called? Gross, yeah. So in terms of gross income, yeah, he got $24 million, but in terms of net, he only got 2, like, you know. I should write these articles. Trump spent 91 cents to raise every dollar, according to the latest filings with the FEC. The high-cost, low-margin fundraising came as Trump's legal problems mounted. Well, isn't like high-cost, low-margin like a key sign of like money laundering? The high-cost, low-margin fundraising came as Trump's legal problems mounted following revelations. Well, but I don't really see how that ties into it, unless because he's raising what money for? I guess his PAC. He doesn't have to itemize contributions for donors who give less than $200. Okay. And they accounted for $9.8 million of his third quarter haul. To reach from, Trump spent $7.3 million on SMS appeals and a little less than $7.3 million on online ads. His biggest expense went to rentals of donor lists, which cost $2.8 million. So, you know, and the thing is, too, it's like he grifted so much money for Stop the Steal. Okay, this is, hold on. So, they're being outraised and outspent by Democrats in Ohio and Arizona. To offset that, Trump's allies launched a super PAC, Make America Great Again, Inc., to back his endorsed candidates. So, like, I'm not surprised that people are stopping giving money to Trump because he grifted so much fucking money, on the Stop the Steal that obviously did not go to Stop the Steal. And the thing is, not only did it not go to Stop the Steal, but I think you had to donate on average like $200 or like over $200 in order for any of that money to even be given to Trump, let alone to the election fraud thing. All that money went to the GOP. All of it went to the GOP. All of it went to fucking Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Ronna Romney, and all those terrible fucking people. Or Ronna McDaniel, or whatever her name is. She's Romney's like niece or something. It just went to all these fucking people. So, I mean, good. I mean, actually, you know, I said, what was it? Like, I started the show by saying I voted straight ticket Republican, but honestly, at this point, I'm just fed up with Trump. Fed up with him. Good. I'm glad he's not able to grift people out of her more hard-earned money, especially during a recession, right? You know, what happened to all the money people gave to you before the recession? Trump, you fucking retard. God, I'm just sick of Trump, honestly. And probably in like a year I'll be sick of DeSantis too, but still, you know, I'm just like these fucking like Madame Tussauds candidates, you know, they all look like they're made out of wax, including this guy, this fucking Shep Smith. Anyway, so here we go, we have Dark Brandon now. So they're unironically embracing Dark Brandon. Biden's like, you know, a few, you know, the interns who are still working for him.
The White House kicking off its efforts to forgive student loan debt.
Biden, admin, 10K in my pocket, 10K in my pocket.
For Pell Grant recipients, that goes up to $20,000.
Is this like Biden hypno porn or something? What the fuck?
20K in my pocket.
This is giving me a headache.
My pocket. Website. 10K in my pocket. 20K in my pocket.
Sign up now. Studentaid.gov. Paid for by Building Back Together. So this is on unlisted. 268 subs. 66 upvotes. 146 downvotes. So not as so. The ratio is slightly not as bad as Carlin's, but it's still pretty bad. Here we go. Biden claims he became a full professor at the University of Pennsylvania after being vice president. Biden was paid $1 million, but never taught a single class. Yeah, gee, I wonder what they got in exchange.
So I became a full professor at the University of Pennsylvania.
Total lie. Look, these people don't give a fuck. They're just like, okay, give us our money, you old man.
Yeah, he's a professor like his wife's a doctor.
Yeah. Oh my God, Professor Biden. Yeah, it's like, oh, you forgot to give us homework again. Here's a stupid thing. Mega MAGA trickle down. This sounds like a toy, an as seen on TV toy.
They're not going to stop there. They're going to do big pharma's bidding to repeal my plan to allow Medicare to negotiate prescription drugs prices. We pay the highest in the world. And in doing so, it's going to raise drug prices. And they're going to raise big pharma's profits. They're doing fine, big pharma. They're not hurting at all.
Well, yeah, Obama. Yeah, they're doing really fine after they've taken over healthcare due to Obamacare. Like, healthcare is even worse now in this country than it was before Obamacare.
Health insurance premiums. It's mega MAGA trickle down. Mega MAGA trickle down. The kind of policies that have failed the country before and will fail it again. And it'll mean more wealth to the very.
Yeah, I mean we're doing so we're doing so good. I mean, like, compare us to under the mega MAGA versus today. I think people were doing, as mega MAGA as in, which were just regular MAGA, excuse me, in from 2016 to 2020. I think I'd say most people, up until the Corona hoax, which was Democrat run too, like, people were, now I don't want to come across as like a GOP shill or anything, but I just got to be fair. People are like blaming Republicans for the bailout and the CARES Act, but which political party was the one that was like screaming and yelling to do more about the pandemic? I mean, it was a leftist Democrat thing the whole fucking time, right? They essentially bullied it. Now that's no excuse for Republicans to get behind it, but for people trying to blame COVID on Republicans, it's once again another disingenuous libertarian argument that wants to trick people into voting for them. And I mean, is that really how you want to get that 4%? And that's the thing, right? Even if they get the 4%, how could they keep it, right? By tricking people, by being disingenuous, by having a bunch of retard law cows like Karlin Borysenko be your candidate, even if the unlikely event that they get 4%, like, how are you going to keep it with using these tactics, these gutter tactics?
Very wealthy, higher inflation for the middle class. That's the choice we're facing. That's why I think that we're going to do just fine. Thank you.
Yeah, and he's ignoring. I mean, I wonder if there's like how it's going to go. There's going to be a red wave, and then he's going to have to step down because he realizes he's lost a mandate from heaven, or he just can't. I mean, we're probably all going to blame him for the red wave, and he'll step down, and it'll be President Kamala Harris until 2024. Who knows? All right, so here we go. This is a QAnon conference.
The financial rebalancing. The angel of death is coming to visit these people. These people are going down. These people who control the world think that they are pharaohs. the present day pharaohs soon you shall never see again. This is coming with the greatest wealth transfer in human history. Gold and silver are going to explode in value.
Yeah, and who owns all the gold, or a lot of the gold? The elite. So
wealth to the church, to you, so then you can.
Oh wow! All the wealth is going to go to the church, i.e., you. Wow, that's not bad theology, right? That's not going to create a very ugly political movement, right? That's not just like theological communism.
For all those around you, because everything when God's kingdom comes in abundance and overflow. All debts, who has credit cards, mortgages, student loans, they will be canceled.
Well, imagine looking forward to Jesus' return because your credit card debt is going to get canceled. Like, imagine looking forward to the millennial king. Like, it's like, the millennial king. It's not that Jesus is going to rule the earth with a rod of iron, right? It's not that Jesus is going to, overthrow the devil and have him locked up and chained in a pit of fire for 1,000 years. It's not going to be, it's not going to be all the crowns. It's not going to be, all the heavenly gifts and stuff for worshipers and believers. No, it's so you could get your fucking debt paid off. Should I play for let's play?
Zechariah 1 talks about Thanksgiving. We are days away from Thanksgiving. What is Thanksgiving? Galatians 6 talks about it. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatever a man soweth, thus shall he reap. Those who have planted evil seeds, they are about to get evil upon their own heads.
Okay, well, this is it. This is Thanksgiving, November. Okay, this must have been for. Oh no, this is today. Okay, so how is Thanksgiving a few days away? It's more than a month. Oh, whatever. I guess he was speaking in tongues or something. Well, I'm just.
Those who have planted good seeds.
Oh, okay. It's because the Mayflower's first harvest was 400 years ago. Yes, 1621. No, hold on. This must have been from 2021. So, yeah, Ron Flipowski. This is a wrong clip.
Are about to be blessed beyond measure. We are here. We're going to go.
Oh no, the first harvest was 2022. Then
dark.
Oh, here we go. The Days of Darkness. Yeah, okay. This is a big QAnon thing that Eric Trump was at. The Days of Darkness is where the government's going to shut down the internet, and that's supposed to be a good thing, right? That means the patriots are in control, right? That means we're going to get our freedom back. So we have to stay inside our homes and not do anything when the government shuts down, because they're going to be arresting the pedophiles when they shut down the electricity for however long. Oh God, yeah, the QAnon, what was it? Oh, the pandemic, the 2 weeks to stop the spread. That's 2 weeks for Trump to arrest all the pedophiles. Yeah, I remember that. All right, so here we go. This is Carrie Ann Harlos at the Reno Reset with her dildo. No, this is some pink hair. This is a prophet. This is prophetess Cat Care. No, I shouldn't compare. That's an insult to Carrie Ann to me compared to this lunatic. But prophetess, which I think the Bible has some things to say about women who call themselves prophetesses. But prophetess Cat Care channels God in declaring that Trump is the president of the United States, and I will give him 4 more years. There will not need to be an election to cause that to happen, for I have already spoken from the courtroom of heaven.
Even the fake news will have to tell the truth.
So she's holding like a billy club. I don't know
what like a staff. Is that a staff?
Oh, it probably is a staff. Yeah, it looks like a billy club from this angle.
And it's got like some runes scrawled into it.
Oh wow!
Chiseled into it.
Yeah, like hieroglyphics, and she has a button that says "I don't do demons." Okay.
For they will say these very words. We don't want to say this. We tried to prove it wasn't true, that it was a lie. But Trump won the 2020 election. He is the president of the United States of America, and I will give him his 4 more years.
I love that too. I will give him, right? It's like she's talking on behalf of God.
There will not need to be an election to cause that to happen. For I have already spoken from the courtroom of heaven.
Okay, and that's the thing. What happens when Trump doesn't get reinstated, right? It's like, people, I mean, like no sane person would think this, but, doesn't that make, according to her, God a liar? If she says she's speaking through the Holy Spirit speaking through her, and that Trump is going to be reappointed by the courtroom of heaven, and then he doesn't, right? Isn't that why you're not supposed to make, like, all these predictions, like, oh, the world, the Armageddon, Jesus is going to come back on December 12th, 2012, and, like, it's like the same thing with the Nibiru stuff, the Planet X.
I don't know, imagine listening to her and being like, sounds legit.
Yeah.
Even into the unknown space, into the spirit realm, the physical realm. Those words have already been spoken. You can write it down. That it will be proven that Trump, who was my chosen person, is my chosen person to sit in the seat of the White House, who will wipe up this mess like a mop bucket so there's no trace of it.
And she's speaking with her eyes closed.
She is. It's like, you crazy old coot. Get yourself back to the kitchen realm. Wipe up that mess.
Well, I mean, I guess to be, I get, like, to be fair, all my years as being a Catholic, I've never seen anything like, I've had relatives talk about stigmata and stuff. My family are in the possession of the bones of Saint Catherine, that my family members, when we're really sick, we would pray on the bones in order to be healed. And so, this is coming from Shelley, I've been to services where they're speaking in tongues, like snake charmers. So, I mean, I'll give the Catholics a pass right now. Like, this is, and that's the thing, this is why we're like, oh, we need to, I hold on, actually, before I get too lenient, they look at, Catholics look at people like this and they say, oh, well, this is why we need a centralized authority. This is why we need the Pope to tell people what to do. Okay, well, what, the same Pope who brought a bunch of fucking, like, Native American shamans and, like, you had into the Vatican, right? You brought fucking literal idols into the Vatican where they prayed to the She-Manitou, the great spirit, right? The great woman spirit, I might add. Which, the Jesuits, they said, oh, she's a She-Manitou is a Virgin Mary. Oh, we worship a goddess, So I mean, this is, it's like, we're really in no, it's just a state of false doctrines now. This is why I believe in Jesus and not religion. Because religion, you get a bunch of kooky shit like this. You get cults, you get greed, you get corruption. Right? I believe in Jesus' church, not this, like, whole system of, like, religion. Because honestly, religion, just like philosophy, is a system people use to justify their bad behavior. So, even more. Oh, boy. Self-proclaimed prophets. I always, anytime someone calls himself a prophet, it's going to be great. Gathered in Phoenix last night to take authority over the election. Oh, yeah. This is all Christian nationalism thing.
Let's just all begin to turn around. God, we speak and declare over...
Okay, so you have a bunch of these old people, right? They're all, all the people, like, they're literally going like a helicopter, like, turning around, like, so they're literally spinning, right? They're turning around spinning. It's like...
The United States of America.
They were doing a wide shot. Everyone's spinning in here.
Over this time that you have chosen of the midterm elections, in this time in our country, in this time in our nation, Lord, as we turn, we say things shift.
Okay, so in this guy's defense, the guy who's doing this is turning also himself. So it's not like he's like, hey, let's see what I could get these retards to do. He's doing it himself.
May things turn to righteousness, to justice, Lord, to truth. We say things turn back to the way of a divine reset and a rebirthing of this nation once again.
We bind every...
We are seeing, we're seeing a miracle right there. All these boomers turning around and no one's broken a hip.
Exactly, yeah. All these people with hip... I was thinking that, all these hip problem people, yeah.
Effort that the enemy would do.
Okay, and I mean, I don't want to, like, make fun of people for their faith or whatever, but it's like, when you mix politics in with it, it looks like that woman's giving a Roman salute. When you mix politics in with it, it just becomes nothing but trouble, Because it's like...
Devil Romans.
Do you have Devil Roman? Oh, yeah, let's remember, it's like when Trump is like, everybody raise your right... He's like, everybody raise your right hand. And they all raise their voice. And declare loyalty to me or whatever. It was basically like a loyalty pledge to Trump, and they're like, I pledge to I can't have I don't want the rest of my fists on. I pledge to Donald Trump, I will vote for him. And he's like, take your right hand. And then slowly it just gets more and more it gets more and more like this. I don't know if Trump is talking to Hillary on the phone before his speech. He's talking to all the other lizard people, and he's like, "Yeah, I bet you I could get all these dumb boomers with American flag hats to throw up a bunch of Roman salutes and pledge their loyalty to me." And Hillary's like, "No, I can't do that with a hot sauce." And he's like, "You just watch."
To distort, to deceive, to lie and steal, we say, Lord, give us angelic hosts, many of them, to go to work for us. Send Michael if you have to. Do whatever it takes to stop any cheating, any lying, anything that the enemy would do to steal this. And now, Lord, as you hover, you release revelation. So we're asking you to hover over this state and speak to people who are in the balance. We're asking you to hover over their mind and break deception and darkness off of them and bring light to them and turn the tide and give us...
And that's the thing, is it bringing Jesus' light to him? No, it's bringing the light to vote Donald Trump and straight ticket R.
Sweeping victory in the state of Arizona.
There you go.
And we ask it in...
Is it the light of salvation? Is it the light of God? Is it the light of Christ? No, it's any false light. That's the thing. It's the light of the election, right? The light of a Republican Party. And now how is Satan described in the Bible? An angel of light. So I mean, if you're not worshiping God's light, it's someone else's. GOP Dave Schweikart was caught on undercover video talking about breaking up the FBI and impeaching members of a Biden administration if the GOP wins. Let's make this viral. And then you have Tom. I'm not going to play it; it's too long. But you have Tom Woods say he said nothing wrong, so by all means, make it viral. Yeah, it's like, it's so funny too. All these live are like, oh, they want to defund, they want to dismantle the FBI, and it's like, hey, I think most people could get behind that. All right. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. So here we go. Baked Alaska and Ali Alexander agree that Republicans need to be willing to do whatever it takes to gain political power and start jailing Democrats. Now, this is Baked Alaska. So Ali Alexander, I don't believe he's been subpoenaed yet, or he hasn't gotten in trouble, even though he was the self-described main founder and organizer of Stop the Steal. The dude had, according to the Epic hack, he had like 100 websites, right? And a quarter of them were all dedicated to Stop the Steal. And Baked Alaska, most likely Fed snitch, videotaped all the people who are in jail right now on January 6th, and he's had the charge. Oh, a miracle, right? I think he had the charges dropped, or he's not going to do jail time.
It's all about willpower. Like, are you willing to set yourself on fire for what you want?
Yeah.
To win. And our side has got to be a higher concentration of yes. Right now, they're willing to break the Constitution, break the law, imprison political prisoners, act like Soviet punks, and do all of that. We have to +1 that. We have to jail Democrats.
He's obviously not listening. I'm sorry. He's responding to the chat or something. He's just obviously not listening there.
Democrats. We have to censor their asses. We have to make them beg for this treaty with us.
For
an understanding. There's no point in coming to an understanding before we have buy-in from them.
That's right.
We got to make them hurt.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you said that so well. We haven't literally gone through hell in these last few years. The political persecution, how the January 6 people have been treated like absolute terrorists. I mean, they literally call us terrorists.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd say someone who goes around the country macing people, I'd say that inspires terror, right? I wouldn't say that's too off track.
Ow. I mean, I'm just looking forward to when I get my bag right, suing the fuck out of CNN and all those pieces of shit. Dude, it's terrible what they've done to us. All the, income we've lost from being banned from social media. All the relationship,
There you go. See, it's not about saving the country. It's about, it always goes back to, we want to get back on social media. We want to make money shitposting.
I am ready to go ham on them, but, gotta get my money right, gotta finish my legal shit and all that.
Yeah, gotta get in a few more. Gotta get entrap a few, or not entrap, but gotta snitch on a few more people. They don't call them baked Ratlaska for a reason. And there we go. It's like, they claim these guys, they do rosary streams and claim Christ is king, and then yet they obsess over having revenge against the Democrats. I mean, now there's a difference between arresting criminals and getting revenge. We gotta censor them now. You're just proving that you're just as bad as they are. Yeah, that's about it, really. I don't really care to get into... Alright, that's about it. In terms of a political content to get grifters and gatekeepers. So I guess I've been putting off this... I guess I'll move on to the announcement here.
71 years is far too short a time to live among such excellent and admirable hobbits. I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. I have things to do. I've put this off for far too long. I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now. I bid you all a very fond farewell. Goodbye.
Me raiding the liquor cabinet on my way out. All right, so it's been in the works for a little bit, not too long. Because you know me of making like premature fucking announcements and it not happening, and then me being being embarrassed. Because what I say, I'd have like new show. I said I'd have new intro music for the past like year, but no, this actually is this actually is happening. So let's see here. Yeah, I have been putting this off too long. So I'm going to be going on a little trip, a couple months trip. I haven't, I've been living in New Hampshire for, let's see here, when did we move? We moved before Obama was elected. So since 2008, I'd say, because I started school it would have been the fall of 2008, because Obama got in January 2009. So we moved to New Hampshire, and I remember when we moved, or when we were house hunting, or apartment hunting rather. It was like a huge winter. There was like 4 feet of snow. It was a winter wonderland, and then every year since, it's it's been meh, which isn't that bad, especially since I have to chisel my car out. So I've lived here for quite some time. So more than 10 years now, because 2008 is 2022. So shit, I have to do math. 14 years. Okay, there you go. Well, hold on, wait, because I moved here when I was 9 years old. Wait, hold on, no, if I was... Shit. Let's say 10. I was 10 years old. Yeah. Because 5th grade. Yeah, so I was 10 years old. And because 2008. And I was born in 98. So 14. Yeah, just about 14 years. Almost 15. 15 years. And I am still going to be. I'm not going for that long, but I have to change my residency or anything. But I'm going to be going on a trip. Just to see. Well, number one, to be with my wife, and to just see other parts of the country. Sometimes you have to be away from, especially since I've been I think more than half of a show I've been just complaining about the state of New Hampshire politics. Sometimes you have to leave a place in order to better appreciate it. And just get a new lease on just get a new lease on things. What was it? The author in. What was the book called? Brave New World. He needed to go to the Falkland Islands in order to be inspired. And so I'm going to be going for a few months. Still going to be doing the show. Same frequency, if not more. Actually, I might be doing a Thursday show. I'll be doing some sort of extra show because I'm going to be on a new network. We're still getting things set up, and scheduling-wise, ideally I'd be on sometime Thursday in the evening. But still going to be, at least as far as I know, pending, so because there's, obviously there's a lot of changes and stuff going to be happening with, the whole Crypto 6, or not necessarily changes, but, there's going to be a lot of different things happening, if you have a Crypto 6, trial. But, as far as I know, I'm still going to be on, the show's still going to be on the LRN podcast feed. So I can't, they'll limit me and, they'll limit how edgy I could be. Of course, no, but it's always good to have limits on things, so you don't go out of control, and I don't do 50 video streams talking about the same people and obsessing over haters and stuff. So that'll be nice. So yeah, I'm still going to be doing the show. It's going to be from a new studio location, of course, but still going to be doing the show, and I'll be back in time for in time for ForkFest. I'll be back in the spring. So yeah, still doing the show, still doing journalism. I'm still going to be a New Hampshire resident. It's just really a trip. It's just honestly, I'm just, I'm going to be doing work there, obviously. I'm not just going to be bumming it up on a beach in Hawaii. But it's going to be pretty much like a work holiday, really. It's if we were British, it'd be me going up to a castle in Edinburgh or something, for a few months. And so that's going to be exciting. And yeah, basically it's not really going to change much of a show. Probably it'll be less focusing on New Hampshire politics, just because, I'd want to kind of, it's kind of against the whole idea of it. And it's not just to get out of New Hampshire too. It's also to be with, as I said, be with Shelley, my wife. And just, a change of scenery. And then, we're working on getting the, Colts compound here in New Hampshire, right? We're working on that. Going to wait for the market to, finally and utterly collapse. But, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And then I'm going to come back and be ready to, take on, well, actually, I don't know. Ideally not. Ideally, it would be a pleasant return. It would be a pleasant return. But yeah, and then I'll have a newfound appreciation of New Hampshire, and of mountains. But also a newfound appreciation of other things, right? Because we'll be having new experiences and stuff. And it'll be good. Because, believe it or not, despite the property tax, despite the lack of sales tax, things are actually kind of traveling to other parts of the country other than New York and Vermont. Things are cheaper in other places too. So that'll kind of work out too a bit. And, I'm going to be, able to write, pretty much almost full time, right? I'll be doing, journalism stuff and, freelance work to, get the paycheck. But yeah, I'm going to be able to write full time. I just haven't been able to get inspired, in my current environment. And so just a change of pace is going to be good, right? It's it's not me going to Rivendell forever. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice change. And then I'll see all my friends back in the spring here. And yeah, so I actually had some really, I guess it was dramatic, Shakespearean music I was going to end it on. But I think I'll end that. I'll play that when I get when we get officially ceremony married. Or for something else. It was a little bit too much. I want it to be on a happy note, a positive note that for the last show here in this studio. And yeah, I've just been, sort of rambling on. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I will be back live most likely Wednesday. I'd say Wednesday, unless I'm just still exhausted from the trip to the first destination of the trip. But yeah, ideally, actually, I'm going to try my hardest to have it to do a Wednesday show, or maybe even Tuesday. I don't know about Tuesday. Well, maybe Tuesday night. Well, no, because if I do a Tuesday show, then I wouldn't feel like doing a Wednesday show. Then the whole schedule is fucked up. But regardless, I will be back next week with pretty much, yeah, I'll be back next week. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Hope you all had a wonderful show. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see all of you in the new studio next week. Oh, thank you. Yes, Obstacles. Yeah. He says, what was it? Vacation is good for the soul. Don't forget the Christmas tree. It's a tradition, bro. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have I want a table. How I want it to be is I want there to be a table, and it's. I know it's a lot, for planning and stuff, but I want there to be a table behind me, right? So there's a green screen and a table, and I have a V8 because I'm all big into 90s retro stuff. I have, because it's the tech I grew up with. I want to have a VHS Well, actually, it's right over there. If I'm able to pack it, if there's enough room, I want to have a VHS TV hybrid, right? So anytime I have like a clip or something, I'll have like a better grasp of OBS and stuff. So I'd say, oh, let's check a look at the clip, and I'd press a button, and you see the clip on the little TV, and I'd press another button, and then it would transition to the screen. So yeah, I'd have a Christmas tree there. There's going to be. There's going to be the Halloween. I'll be able to be, and that's the other thing too, is that I haven't really been able to enjoy any holidays here since I was a child. I'd rather say since my grandmother died, because I'd go there for Christmas. Because it's either, you enjoy, like, it's easier to enjoy a holiday either when you're a child or when you have children. Especially since I'd be like celebrating this stuff alone, and not that there's anything wrong with my dad or anything, but it's he'd be doing his own thing with his old boomer cringe friends, and so yeah, it's just I'm going to be able to like actually celebrate these holidays instead of just saying hey, hello, happy whatever on the show. I'll actually be celebrating it with Shelly. I'll actually be feeling festive for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, and I'm not going to skip Thanksgiving or Halloween like all these fucking stores. Like, could you believe we're skipping? There's like Christmas shit out already. Like we were at Walmart yesterday. And they did have like they had the Halloween stuff, they had the fall stuff, fall to like the cornucopia and the Thanksgiving stuff, and then they had the Christmas stuff. And it's like, seriously? And I remember Ghost from True Capitalist Radio. He's like, let's get through Halloween first. Let's get through Thanksgiving first, because people would like wish him Merry Christmas in July and stuff. And it's just I don't know if it's like because I think Shelly asked, she's like, oh, maybe it's a recession thing? I'm like, no, it's every year. Every year they just keep, they're just like, I don't know why, for like, they want people to stock up on Christmas stuff and then forget that they bought the Christmas stuff and then buy it again during Christmas season, but who knows? So yeah, but it'll definitely be the tree. There's going to be all sorts of decorations. It's going to be great. It's going to be, I'm really looking forward to this. And then, I come back to New Hampshire, and apply all of that stuff. I can't wait until like the permanent. One day we're gonna have a permanent studio in the cult compound, and that I'm looking forward to. Right. So anyway, thank you again, everyone, so much for tuning in. I'll see all of you. I'll be live next week.
Captain Bonhomme part en voyage. Captain Bonhomme.